You intro this one, Sweeto.
All right, this is WrestleMania's 10 WWE wrestlers who hated their own WrestleMania match. It's so great how especially like the last few years with social media and everything, how open wrestlers have been about their time and things like that. And so knowing the kind of thought process and behind the scenes that some wrestlers have on their own previous matches is interesting to know. And so I figured this would be a fun watch to react to as two wrestling fans.
Damn straight. As always, there is a link in the description to the original video. We will be pausing a lot. I do not want to hear it. If you want to watch the video, go watch it on their channel. We are here to stretch out our doctorate in yapping. All right? It is what it is.
I thought you were going to say thugonomics, missed opportunity.
I mean, come on. Thugonomics, that's John Cena's thing, bro. And yapping, it's our doctorate in yapping. Thugonomics is crazy, bro.
Performing at WrestleMania should be one of the defining moments of a pro wrestler's career. However, over the years, a number of wrestlers have admitted publicly that they strongly disliked one of their WrestleMania matches.
Oh, shit. Oh, I know the Brothers of Destruction versus DX finna be on here. Come on now. Come on now.
It says that wasn't WrestleMania.
Oh, that was Super Showdown, right?
Crown Jewel.
Really?
I think.
No,
it's one of the Saudi ones.
Yeah, one of the Saudi ones. Yeah.
Saudi is Bizarro World.
It really is, bro. Ridiculous.
For a specific reason. This can be because certain spots were cut from the match, or it can be because they feel like their performance didn't meet the WrestleMania standard.
Poor Taker. Like his last 6 matches were that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Poor guy. We love Mark Calloway over here, dog. It just is what it is. Fuck me.
Join us now.
I'll say this. I feel like even in his later years, Rogue can still outperform a lot of dudes on the roster.
Oh, that's without question. Right. It just wasn't up to his standards. He's really hard on himself, especially in his later years.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish he was easier on himself. And mainly if in a perfect world, Undertaker would have retired at 20-0. You know what I mean? But of course, the business needed him for a lot of years afterwards, so he went and he delivered, and I cannot be more grateful to him for that. It is what it is. He elevated a lot of stars. It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Bad motherfucker, man. He was doing crazy shit back in 08, 09, 10, 2010. I mean, all the way up to WrestleMania, what was it, like 28, 29? 29, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, 29 against CM Punk. That was a good one.
Really good one. So yeah, he was definitely pulling some crazy stuff up until 20-0. After that, they were fine, but of course the quality did drop. But that's after 20 years of a badass career, over 20 years of a badass career. Gotta love us some Mark Calloway. Gotta love the Undertaker.
Yes, sir.
10 WWE wrestlers who actually hated their WrestleMania match. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
Do what he said.
Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania
I recommend
Shorts.
it as a wrestling fan. I get a lot of my info from WrestleMania, especially because they stay up to date on the news and shit.
Damn straight. You know how many fucking top 10s and fucking WrestleMania... like, I'm telling you, I've seen so many WrestleMania videos, not only like in front of me, but in the background. It's criminal. It really is.
Yeah, it's just great to like watch or listen to.
And they have a real like mature, like smooth way to present all this information. You gotta love it. I wouldn't say
sure.
I wouldn't say mature. More like what's the word? More streamlined, a lot smoother of a way to present like all of this WWE stuff over like a Watch WWE or whatnot. Watch WWE I enjoyed for bits. I think one of my favorite wrestling channels though is Wrestling Gifts. The reason why isn't because he's the best in production, but because it's one guy and he's sharing his thoughts and passion about wrestling, and you can really feel that personality. While WrestleMania definitely feels a bit more corporate, it's not way too corporate. It still feels like nerdy guys talking about wrestling for 10 minutes, Gotta love it.
the thing with Wrestling Gifts, though, is that he grew up in the era that we grew up in with wrestling. And that's why I love him.
I hear you,
because his
dog.
nostalgia is my nostalgia.
We definitely gotta watch some of his videos in the future. He's cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you speak or understand Hindi...
Wrestling Gifts was my introduction to Perk Angle. Can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Our new channel, WrestleMania Hindi.
Yeah. Hey. Woo. Wait a minute. All right.
Number 10, Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania 25.
What? Was it this versus Matt?
Yeah.
He regrets this match?
He hates it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this match was kind of mid.
Huh. Interesting.
I was never a big fan of the Matt versus Jeff at 25.
I hear you. I remember watching it the one time and thinking it was cool because of the stunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I was like
but
a
then
kid.
you look back on it now, and it was like an Extreme Rules match, but they only had like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's fucking bad. Really?
Yeah, like you would think that they'd get longer, because I mean it's two brothers feuding, two high flyers feuding in a fucking Extreme Rules match, and they only get like 10 minutes. Like that match was short.
Yeah, that is
So they,
quite.
they couldn't cook the way they wanted to.
That is quite bothersome. Yikes.
Yeah.
The two brothers collided at WrestleMania 25 as Jeff and Matt Hardy collided on the grandest stage. The match would be an Extreme Rules match, and it was mostly well received, but Jeff Hardy wasn't pleased. Jeff took issue with how many spots had to be cut from the match, and according to Jeff during an appearance on the Broken Skull Sessions podcast, this impacted the overall quality of what Jeff and Matt could deliver.
Right, but it sucks, man, because it's not Jeff or Matt's fault. Really, it's just them cutting for time, which is crazy to me because like this is WrestleMania. Why are there time limits? You know what I mean?
Honestly, yeah, like on a pay-per-view.
I mean,
Like,
nothing too excessive, obviously, but this is a
Yeah.
pay-per-view, guys. Let's go all
Yeah.
out.
And also, like, when you think about it, this was WrestleMania 25. WrestleMania 35 was like a 7-hour show.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they had to do 2 nights. But that's my thing, right? Is give them more time. If they want to fucking flesh out their fucking blood feud match, I think out of all matches, that would be something to add more time to. Fuck, you know what I mean? It's not like this is on an
Yeah.
episode of SmackDown, you know? Ridiculous.
Jeff did state that he did confront Vince McMahon regarding having spots cut from the match, and this was extremely rare for Jeff to confront his boss in this manner. Jeff believes that this earned him respect, mainly because McMahon was aware that his anger was coming from a genuine place.
Damn straight.
Number 9, The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33 was designed
I
to
mean,
Yeah.
you didn't have to surprise me with that one, yeah. You didn't really surprise me there.
Undertaker's farewell match. He was going to put over Roman Reigns in the main event and sail off into the sunset.
Roman at the time would not carry you for shit, all right? I'm just being honest.
The problem was that the
I
match
mean, the
wasn't...
thing is, a lot of people would argue that Roman, when he was a babyface, was better in ring than he is now. The thing is, now it's just his character, like his storytelling is
taking less
way
risk.
better than it was. Yeah, but
Yeah.
as when he was a babyface, that it was that in-ring work that got him over. If you hated the character, you pretty much liked his in-ring product because his matches were fucking bangers. But now it's like he's doing less in-ring, but the character and the storytelling is what puts him over so much.
So he doesn't
So-
have to do as... Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, if you look at his matches now, he's a lot slower than he was back then. And it's also just because heels in general are a lot slower in the ring.
I hear you, dog. What would be
Yeah.
like a good... What do you think would have been like a great match to where Undertaker could have been carried a bit more, like in WrestleMania? Like, let's say this year, who do you think could have carried this match better?
Around this time,
Yeah.
it's going to be a weird one, but I'm going to say Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I was literally thinking, like, you're going to say Seth,
Yeah.
aren't you? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he really is just that good.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it this year with WrestleMania 40. Seth has put his body on the line for this industry, but he's also just one of the most reliable workers there.
Yeah.
And he was one of the wrestlers that got me watching back in like the mid 2010s, because I stopped watching after 28 against Triple H in the Hell in a Cell WrestleMania. But then around 2015, when they did Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31, and then the Money in the Bank cash-in and everything, Seth Rollins is what got me back into watching it briefly. And I was impressed every time, because he'd be wrestling matches on Raw every week as the world champion. And almost all of his matches were bangers, and he would carry anybody on the roster. It doesn't matter who Seth was in the ring with, that match was going to be good because Seth was in it.
I don't think that's a weird one at all. That's just facts. Seth is out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a weird one, but it's just because I feel like Seth doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Right. You probably wouldn't see it on a card over a Roman, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like on a WrestleMania card, yeah, like Undertaker versus Seth would be kind of a weird one.
But I mean, we got like Undertaker versus CM Punk, and people always say that's a banger. I haven't seen it. But I hear that's like a really fucking
I
good
remember
one.
that match being really good. I think that was the best match on that WrestleMania card.
It probably was. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like that. Like to me, that was like the last like really really good Undertaker match, and he had some decent ones after, like him against Brock Lesnar. At WrestleMania 30 is the one that's always talked about, but I loved their rematch more at SummerSlam when Taker got his win back, and then when they had a Hell in a Cell match later that year in 2015, that match was also pretty fucking good.
Huh. That sounds pretty
So yeah, so Undertaker's had some good matches in his later years, you know, but again, he's hard on himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Mark was just never happy. I'm glad that he's tamed that beast over the years, and now he's just so social on the podcast, whatnot. I'm telling you, man, we got to watch some more Mark Calloway interviews. Absolutely, it's on the list.
Yeah,
it's on the list.
But well,
go ahead.
I was gonna say with Roman at this time, like he definitely tried to carry Undertaker as best as he could, but I also think that this was Roman Reigns at a time when he was still really learning a lot. You know, they tried pushing him as a top babyface at this point for 3 years. And, you know, 3 years is not a short amount of time at all. It's pretty long, but in the industry, in wrestling, you know, you have wrestlers that are going on 20 years and still learning new things about themselves, or, you know, in-ring, you're delivering an in-ring product or cutting promos, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see what you mean by it's like, yeah, Roman wouldn't carry you at this time, but I think he definitely tried the best he could.
Absolutely, he would definitely try the best you could, but you gotta, once again, at the end of the day, you take his level of talent and you think of somebody that could carry Undertaker. I mean, it really is like you, Seth Rollins. You have to think of somebody who's very adaptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone who can, it's not really controlling the pace, but somebody who can adapt to how your opponent is controlling the pace. And when I think of that, I think someone like Shawn Michaels. I think someone like a Seth Rollins. Hell, I think a Rey Mysterio would be good at it too.
Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio is great.
You know? So people who can it's not the effectively dictating the pace, but the people who can adapt to how their opponent dictates the pace. That's the people who are just better at carrying their opponent overall. You know?
Yeah.
Unless you're just a technical fucking master like Bret Hart. I mean, he's just best. He's the best at everything. You know? It's crazy.
The best there is,
best there was, best there ever will be. That's our boy. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, no, this WrestleMania 33 has one of my favorite like matches in like modern day WWE. It's Seth Rollins versus Triple H. It was my GOAT versus the guy that got me back into watching wrestling. So, you know, for me, it was like two top guys. Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, and the feud was fucking great too, because this is when Triple H was in charge of NXT. And I remember in NXT TakeOver, one of the openings to like that show had Seth Rollins come in from the crowd, and he was cutting a promo. He's like, Triple H, come out here, I'm gonna kick your ass. And it's like, yo, this is on NXT. Like, the story has bled from the main roster into NXT and behind the scenes of NXT. Like, that shit was so cool to me.
Yeah, man. You gotta love it when like those big main roster stars just cross over to NXT. Like when they did the first, I think it was the first takeover in 2023 with Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, was that in 2023? Oh my god. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. When she became NXT Women's Champion for like that brief period of time, and she feuded with Tiffany Stratton. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah, you know, because it's just like, wow, these big fucking people that should be on the main roster doing big shows, right? They come down here to NXT and they're offering their talents to like, okay, how can we put these people over? You know, you gotta love it.
Yeah. I mean, at the time of recording this, next week on NXT, Randy Orton has a match against, I think, Wes Lee. And tonight, because we're recording this on Tuesday, CM Punk was a special guest referee for the NXT Championship match.
Hell, even The Undertaker made a fucking appearance, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
after
he
retirement.
did. He supported Carmelo Hayes. Like, it's Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, you know, if you saw them in NXT, they're 100% the next generation of, you know, WWE top talent.
You cannot deny. Like, I can't believe people that, oh, he's overrated. He's just fast. Like, bro, Braun Breaker is the whole package. Stop it.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
the day Braun Breaker main events WrestleMania is going to be a special day because it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I promise you, Braun Breaker is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania at some point in his career.
He puts himself over really well with his matches. I think he just needs does he have a gimmick? Like Jey Uso was talking about how the dogs bark, that kind of thing. Does he have a gimmick that can sell really well, that's marketable?
I remember his gimmick in NXT is just that he's a dickhead.
Mm-hmm. So
like as a heel, like he's just a really good heel. Like he's the kind of heel you love to hate, like a Randy Orton.
So yeah, I don't think he needs, especially because he's a heel. I don't think he needs something that's overly marketable in order to be like that main eventer. But
like
yeah. I just think as long as he continues to deliver on promos and he continues to deliver, especially in the matches. I mean, he's amazing in the matches. So if he can sell that enough, I think he will be a main eventer. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, even as a babyface in NXT, what got him over was him. Like his personality, his in-ring work, like that shit is what got him over. And then when he became a heel, his character was just kind of turned up to 11, and people loved him even more, even though he was a bad guy and getting booed out the building.
Yeah.
And then at the time when he was a heel, when he was a face, he feuded with Carmelo Hayes, who was a heel at the time. And then when he turned heel, Carmelo was a face, and so they kind of just switched sides, and they put on classics together. And so I kind of wish they would give Melo more to do on the main roster, like they've been giving Braun. But either way, those two are great, and they're going to be they're going to be on the poster of a WrestleMania in coming years.
If you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment, what is your favorite WWE match of all time? All right.
Ooh, that's hard.
Damn straight. For me, it's always got to be WrestleMania. I think it was 26. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
Dude, that's up there for sure.
That's the best for me.
That's a good fucking match.
People always say the 25th anniversary was better, the one before, and I'm like, I hear you, but yeah, I agree, it's really fucking good. But they were able to they were literally able to deliver on that level of quality, but then they had the stakes behind it. Oy!
Yeah. It's the emotion behind the 26 one that really got me. The streak versus career. Dude, I wanted Shawn Michaels to win so badly. I did not want him to retire.
Like,
as
not
a kid,
a lot
bro.
of matches can make you cry, dog. You know what I mean? And that's what that is. It was just so painful. It's kind of similar to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. While it wasn't on a technical level, it's just seeing Ric Flair leave and like having his last match be like one of his best. Just a swan song. Lovely. It sucks that he kept wrestling afterwards, but that's another story.
Yeah.
I wish he just did promo work, because that's what he because he did do that a bit. You know what I mean? Absolutely. When we went, especially when we went to different shows, he did a lot of promo work, but he also wrestled. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? Stop.
Yeah, for real. Just be a manager.
That's real. I'm saying. I mean, Mick Foley, when he supposedly retired, he came back every now and again to fuck with Randy Orton. I'm like, well, Mick Foley's Mick Foley,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mick Foley still was putting over younger talent.
He's a bad
in
motherfucker.
his later years. I mean, Edge at WrestleMania 22, that's, like, for me, that's in conversation of, like, one of the greatest WrestleMania matches.
Absolutely. No, Mick Foley, man, he's one of the baddest motherfuckers that put he's put his life on the line so many times. I mean, do I have to say it? Do I have to remind you fucks? Who is the first man to fall 20 feet onto an unpadded announcement table? Mankind. All right, don't start. And then his ass said, you know what? I don't need a stretcher. I'm going to climb back up. Falls another 15 feet with a steel chair slapping him in the face on the way down. No, I'm good. Let's continue the match for another 10 minutes. Bro, what the fuck? Gets fucking tombstoned into the taxi, rolls into it because he missed it. Like, just a bad motherfucker, dude. There will never be another Mick Foley. And that's the thing with his wrestling, is that he felt like he needed to compensate for his lack of in-ring skill by being extreme, and fucking hell, he compensated. Jesus, Ridiculous.
I think I have an answer for my favorite match of all time.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be the end of an era match, WrestleMania 28.
Another Undertaker
versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as special guest referee in Hell in a Cell.
Literally three individuals on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Reason why it's my favorite. Three of my favorites are in there. Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. All three of them on my Mount Rushmore. They're goats. Hell in a Cell, my favorite stipulation for a match. I love Hell in a Cell matches. And also the added stakes of that being the end of an era. Even though it wasn't promoted to be that. It definitely felt that way.
Yeah.
Where you can tell, yeah, this is like the grand finale of this storyline that's been building since WrestleMania 25 with Shawn Michaels. So, yeah, no, it was just...
And in a perfect world, it would have been all their last matches. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And, this is coming from people that love, these wrestlers, and we would love to see them keep wrestling, but if that was their last match, they would have ended off on a
It would have been
perfect.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You gotta love WWE. You gotta love wrestling, dog. It's people always say that bullshit. It's fake. How could you love? It's like, yeah, but movies are fake. What's the point?
Yeah.
What are you getting at? All right, we gotta love. It's scripted storylines and with really cool fucking action and some opera level drama. You gotta love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's still so crazy to me how it doesn't matter how popular wrestling becomes. It still feels so niche.
Yeah,
because I would, talk to people. I mean, I've told them, oh, I'm going to Atlanta. Oh, what are you going for? A wrestling show. And then they like the look on their face, like, why?
It's so
you don't get it. You don't understand it.
That's my thing, bro. People always do that shit. They're so quick to shame too, bro. They won't do it to your face, but they'll say that shit in the background. It's like, oh, he's in wrestling. I don't really, bro. It's like it's so ridiculous. You guys go over here. You watch your fucking sports events. You all that. But at the end of the day, what sells tickets for those sports events? Why was Conor McGregor so popular and made so much money? It wasn't because he was a great fighter. It was because he was the best shit talker in MMA. That storyline, yeah, exactly. That storyline that he built, the drama he built up, all that, the nation pride, the character that he built was the reason why he sold many tickets. Not because he was the best fighter in MMA, not even the best fighter in his weight class. It was Khabib Nurmagomedov. But because Conor built that character and was a real showman, that's why it sold so many tickets. You guys drink the same Kool-Aid just from a different provider, yet you look down on us. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
That's Conor. That's one fighter. In WWE, that is every single person on the roster. They're trying to be larger than life. They are bigger, and there's some that do it better than others. But you have characters that last fucking generations, like The Undertaker. If you don't watch wrestling, you know who The Undertaker is because he's the fucking Undertaker. It's like this legend that has been passed down. This dude that kicked people's asses and was undefeated for fucking 21 straight WrestleManias. I mean, come on.
It's, at the end of the day, people always like what they like. They always hate what they're going to hate. And they're always going to look down on people who don't like what they like and hate what they like. That kind of thing. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, where a lot of, the kind of reservations would come in for wrestling, and that, it's predetermined, it's fake, it's a, but at the end of the day, I think the real fans, the ones that enjoy it, understand that. It's a TV show, it's entertainment, and you're not there.
Everyone knows. It's just no one, it's unspoken, because why? Why ruin the magic? It's like when you go to a fucking play or you watch a fucking movie. It's like, oh, all those guys are Hollywood actors. They don't know kung fu. It's like, yeah, but you'd be a fucking moron if you were sitting in a theater complaining. Shut the fuck up and enjoy the movie. You know?
And it's one thing if wrestling pretended to be sports. Yeah. It's not pretending to be sports. It's TV. It's storytelling. It's entertainment.
It's art imitating life.
Of course.
Yeah, people always have their reservations. They're play fighting. It's like play fighting. All right, man. remember when Triple H was fighting Stone Cold Steve Austin at that house show, and some motherfucker tried to invade the ring? He fucking belly to back suplexed him and started beating his ass. And you think the ref would fucking come in and say, "Oh, stop the fight, break it up"? No. The ref came in and started getting licks of his own, started kicking him in the gut, fucking punching him in the face, like, "Oh yeah, that's fake, motherfucker." Yeah, that's it. Love it.
People say it's fake, but these wrestlers have real injuries. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. He had to retire early because dude broke his neck early in his career.
But let's just take the injuries out because, but stuntmen get injuries. All right, let's take the injuries out. Let's just talk about what the fuck they're taking on a day-to-day basis. Mick Foley fell 20 feet. Now that's fake. Oh, no, there was padding. No, there's no fucking padding. He almost died.
Bro was out cold.
Jesus Christ. And the only people who knew about that in the building was Vince McMahon and those two wrestlers. That's it. Nobody else knew that shit was going to happen. Yeah, that's real fucking fake to me and predetermined. Fuck off. That's it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. People complain. They're not listening to our arguments. It's just they like to have that bias. It is what it is. And they don't like to be proven wrong. Nobody likes to be proven wrong. It's an unhealthy character trait, but it is what it is. What can you do?
Ever since I've gotten back into watching wrestling, I've gotten 6 of my friends back into watching wrestling. So, you know,
I hear
there's
you,
still an
dog.
audience there for it.
Oh, goddamn right. No, wrestling's the biggest it's ever been, bar none.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Exactly the quality fans expected from the Dead Man. The match was awkwardly paced, and The Undertaker botched several notable spots.
Bro's entrance was so long, too.
Yeah.
Taker has even spoken at length in relation to his thoughts on
He looks skinny. Am I crazy?
No, he does. Yeah.
the match and has since labelled the match as disgusting. The Dead Man wasn't happy retiring with a match of such poor quality, and it's hard for anyone to take issue with The Undertaker not wanting this match to be his final time on the grandest stage of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The Undertaker was even so ashamed of the matchup that he apologized to Roman Reigns because he felt so bad for being responsible for
Yeah, and Roman immediately shot back. He's like, what are you talking about? You crazy? You know, Mark is just way too hard on himself, dog. And, you know, that's a good trait to have in this business. You have to be hard on yourself, you know. But as you get older, you tend to be unfair about, you know, about your own work. It is what it is, you know. But there are worse problems to have. Come on, Mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, he's better now. He's doing a lot better now. He's a lot more at peace. I'm sure it still bothers him at times, but, you know, that's something he's just going to have to live with. His life.
For sure.
He's had such an amazing career, dude. Like, there's not a single motherfucker that does not respect him that's a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? Gotta
if he's
love
not
it.
on your Mount Rushmore, like,
You're crazy.
then I gotta know what that Mount Rushmore is. 'Cause what the fuck?
If he's not on your Mount Rushmore, then you just haven't seen him. That's it. You have to be ignorant to the Undertaker to not
you
have
just
him on
watched
your
wrestling
Rushmore.
yesterday for the first time.
That's real as fuck. It is what it is, son.
negatively received match.
That's a cool shot, by the way.
Number 8,
It is.
Triple H at WrestleMania 32.
Ooh.
A Triple H's showdown with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32.
Bro, 2
Roman
Roman
Reigns
Reigns
again.
matches, bro. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
This is back to back, bro. 32 and 33.
Come on, Roman. Come on, Roman. You can't do this to us. Come on now. You killing careers. That's fucked up. Nah, bro.
Roman just wasn't ready, I don't think.
Yeah, no, we did. We love Roman, dog. It is what it is.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
because these are older guys. It is what it is.
32 was heavily panned by fans. It was lackluster at best, and the match failed to have that spark that's needed in a WrestleMania main event.
Look at fucking Paul Levesque, dude. That guy is juiced. God damn.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's got a pacemaker, you know? He really shouldn't have been putting himself in this level of fucking strain at that age, but, you know, it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he said it's genetic for him, too.
Yeah.
So,
That's crazy.
but hey, we still love Triple H.
We still love Paul Levesque.
That's my goat.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley is a bad motherfucker, all right? Damn straight, right? Mount Rushmore, I agree.
Lackluster at best, and the match failed to have that spark that's needed in a WrestleMania main event. A month after WrestleMania 32, the game was asked for his thoughts on the match by the Mirror UK, and with Triple H being a key part of
I
WWE's
hope he didn't hit his fucking head. No. Oh, jeez.
Bro, like The Miz, WrestleMania 27, when John Cena
yeah, he
tackled
got
him over
knocked the
barricade.
fuck out, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't remember that match.
It's so fucking dumb to me. Like, why the hell isn't there rubber surrounding the borders just in case? You know? Like, why is it just bald fucking concrete, you know?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. What are you guys doing?
management
Yeah,
team.
I remember thinking like, there's no way that's just straight up concrete.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Royal Rumble this year, and I was sitting on the floor, you know, like kind of in that area, and it's like, yeah, no, it's just floor.
Which is
That's it.
which is ridiculous. Is that, guys, there are obvious safety precautions you guys could take to not hit your fucking head on the cement, you know? Meanwhile, they're padding up the elimination chamber. Fuck off. You know? If there's one place you don't pad up is the chamber, but they can't pad out the fucking borders of the ring. Fuck off. Ridiculous.
He had to be extremely careful in what he said. Triple H
Do you agree with that and padding up the floors in the elimination chamber? Me personally, no. I like safety, but at the end of the day, the elimination chamber needs to give off the illusion of, you know, it's dangerous. And when you pad up the ground of the elimination chamber, you take away a lot of that aura, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I get both sides of it. The safety side, and then also, but it's the elimination chamber. It's like padding up Hell in a Cell. Like,
you don't do
that.
You don't do that. Exactly. Is at the end of the day, the elimination chamber is supposed to present itself as dangerous, and you only have it once a year for both divisions. You know, that's so go all out. Don't pad the fucking floors. Really? Nah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Well,
people are getting slammed on that fucking inch thick fucking mat outside. You know, oh, it's perfectly fine. You know.
Yeah. But I do get it because I've listened to wrestlers talk about those old Elimination Chamber matches, and I would definitely not like to be in their position.
I hear
so
you.
I do 100% understand because it's just steel. Mm-hmm. That's not fun to take.
If they could find a less obvious way of doing it, I think would be a perfect compromise. It's just, how do you do that, right?
Yeah.
It's what it is. What can you do?
But I also feel like anyway, Elimination Chamber has lost a lot of its aura when it became yearly.
Yeah. You know what? I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I love seeing someone get put through a pod. Oh.
Oh, yeah, no. Elimination Chamber is a great match. Like, I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's not as...
it doesn't have that scary aura, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the gravitas that it used to.
Gravitas, I love that word.
Yeah.
I remember when they were trying to build the aura for the Punjabi prison match back with Great Khali and The Undertaker. And once they switched out Khali for Big Show, it like immediately was a handicap for that match. Because we like Big Show, but we paid for Khali versus Undertaker, you know? Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, it's not like Khali was the greatest wrestler or anything, but you know, it's like we wanted, it made sense for Khali to be in there. And then Khali fought Batista, and that was forgettable. You know, and then Punjabi never really came back until like a decade later, which no one cared for. It is what it is, because it looks like a really cool structure. The bamboo sticks, you know.
Yeah. I've never really been a big fan of the Punjabi prison match. I think my favorite one...
My favorite was the first one. It was Show versus Taker.
Show versus Taker. I think the one I remember is Batista versus Khali.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah. That's the one I remember.
I mean, Taker in any match is good. Yeah.
Yeah, Taker in any match is good.
That's
Big
what I'm
Show's
saying.
great too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thing, right? It's just that you take away that kind of aura that Punjabi had when you take somebody who's never been in a Punjabi prison match against Taker. You know what I mean? Like when Punjabi prison match was announced, it was like, oh, this is Khali's like specialty. Like he lives in this, right? And then you take him away, it's like, oh, okay. And all of a sudden, it's not as unfair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up a bad memory for some wrestling fans.
Oh shit!
You guys remember Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the world title in a Punjabi prison match?
Yeah, I said it got brought up a decade later, but you know, I didn't say when, where, why.
And then Randy Orton was about to win, but then the Great Khali interfered.
Yeah.
After being retired for like 10 years at that point.
Bro could barely walk out with those knees. Let's just move on amicably. Yeah. Fuck me.
H clearly had issues with the match, and whilst he didn't outright declare that he loathed the match, he did discuss some of the match's shortcomings. It was a challenging situation on a lot of fronts. Roman is a unique character in the business and a polarizing character, much like a John Cena or somebody like that. He's a polarizing character. You're in front of 100,000 people, and you're also coming up at the end of a 6.5 hour plus show.
Oh, cabrón, fuck. 6.5. Chingado.
I'm so glad it's 2 nights now.
Bro.
Holy fuck.
Oh, it was long. I was happy with it, but to be honest, I've not watched it back yet. I'm really funny about watching myself back at this point in time of my career. It's hard for me to see the positives sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. It's that you gotta be hard on yourself. That's how you become better. The best in the business are ridiculously hard on themselves, whether they share it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's real.
Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36.
Really?
WrestleMania 36 was a massive disappointment.
Yeah, I mean...
COVID.
What can you do?
For several reasons. The main reason was that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, WWE were forced to present their biggest show of the year in front of 0 fans at the Performance Center. Additionally, some of the match outcomes on the 2-night event left a lot to be desired. Take, for instance, when Charlotte Flair defeated Rhea Ripley to win the NXT title. This win was completely pointless.
They were contesting the NXT title on WrestleMania?
I think it was that Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble, and they can challenge like any champion they want.
Oh.
So the storyline was that Charlotte had never won the NXT title, even though she was like one of the biggest names in NXT at the time. And so I guess she challenged Rhea for the title.
And so she was in NXT at the time.
Yeah, Rhea was the NXT champion.
Mm-hmm. And Charlotte was a main roster chick.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. It's just odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this
It would be kind of cool to see the NXT champion get defended at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But they have their own PLE for that, so that's fine.
So that's my thing, right? It's like it's odd. I'm not fully against it. Absolutely not. It's just okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
I do think that was Charlotte's first time winning the NXT championship. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments, but I do think that was the first time she won the or probably the only time she won the NXT title.
Fair enough.
Some fans were quick to criticize the
I've
booking
only seen
decision.
the rematch of this, not the WrestleMania one.
Yeah, we watched
but
the WrestleMania 39, wasn't it? Or the rematch of this afterwards.
Of this storyline afterwards. It was a triple threat. It was NXT in your house, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai, who's Io Sky now. And Io actually won that one. And so that was like one of the first matches I saw Io with.
Wifey? Yeah,
She killed it. Yeah, wifey. She killed it, bro.
Wonderful.
Title. This win was completely pointless, and fans were quick to criticize the booking decision. According to Ripley during an appearance on Lillian Garcia's podcast, the match badly impacted her confidence.
It did feel like that though. I definitely have gone through a stage where I did start losing the confidence in myself because I just wasn't portrayed the same way that I was, you know? I started, even now, I'm still slowly, building myself back up from it. My confidence definitely was, tainted a little bit, which sucks because I try and, keep it up and do my...
I like how conservative she's being of it as well. It's she's, trying not to be too polarizing and, say the wrong things. You know, I think it's sweet. But you can say it, hon. It's she fucked me up, yeah. She fucked me up image-wise, you know what I mean? It is what it is. What can you do? Like I said, water under the bridge. Rhea Ripley's the top diva now. And it's not even close. you know? Don't get me wrong, Liv Morgan's great, but it is what it is. Rhea Ripley's the biggest. She's so over, it's ridiculous.
Liv is honestly where she's at now because of Rhea.
I hear you. Yeah, and... that's not even a lie. No lie has been told. Yes.
all the time. I don't know if it was just something inside my head that just wasn't getting the picture, but I don't know. I got a little bit lost after that.
Number 6, Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32. When WWE announced that...
Oh. You know, I've seen a short of this where that went through the highlights and it looked really fucking cool. Have you seen this one?
I have.
Huh.
It's fine.
Let's see.
Dean Ambrose would be taking on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. Fans were excited. The match would be a no-holds-barred street fight, and fans expected a full-on war. Sadly, the match was incredibly lackluster, and it failed to meet anyone's standards. According to Ambrose, Lesnar shot down every fun, creative idea he had for the match.
Man. And I believe him, too.
Yeah.
Because Brock Lesnar, as you could tell... was fucking Vince McMahon's fucking poster boy. I mean, you told me this story before when Vince came back for that brief stint, it's in 2023, I think it was.
Yeah.
For that brief stint, immediately he tries to put over Brock Lesnar, you know, instead of Cody versus Roman, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's in such a privileged position in the business that I believe it 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is crazy because, dude, for the love of the business, Dean Ambrose is throwing you cool fucking ideas. Don't shoot him down. What, you crazy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is WrestleMania. You got to go all in. You have to be balls to the wall. WrestleMania is exactly where you take all the risk, you know?
Yeah, and Dean Ambrose is great, too. He's a fan favorite. People fucking love him. This is his time.
Yeah. This, you know, man, this is the match where Dean Ambrose is gonna put himself over even more because of the crazy shit he can do, and the fact that Brock Lesnar shut all that shit down. I see why he left.
And with the idea of a street fight, win or lose, if the match is good, you're getting Dean Ambrose over.
Yeah, because you see,
it doesn't matter if he doesn't have to win the match to get over.
No, absolutely not. You just gotta put
him in a good spot.
Absolutely not. Exactly. You have to put him in a good spot. You have to see some shit you've never seen before when you put Dean Ambrose in there with Brock Lesnar. Because you think that match, you think Brock Lesnar's a fucking beast, but Dean Ambrose is crazy. Oh, shit. You know what I mean? And when you barely deliver on that promise, everyone goes home disappointed, you know? The fact that Brock Lesnar even has the fucking capacity to turn down that much is ridiculous, you know? But that's how it was orchestrated back then, you know? Ridiculous.
Lesnar just wanted to do generic things that fans had seen 1,000 times before.
Yeah, because that's his mentality. I'm going to go in, do some suplexes, get paid, fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
And I understand going into business for yourself, you have to nowadays, you know, but that's ridiculous. It's you already have done so much and have achieved so much and made so much fucking money. It's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you doing? Why do you?
And it's not like Lesnar can't put people over. I mean,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was already over at this time, but if you've never seen it, I think it was Survivor Series 2018. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, great fucking match. Like, it is fucking incredible. And Brock Lesnar sold for Daniel Bryan. Like, he made his moves look devastating when he had to.
Maybe it was a thing where Brock just didn't like Dean. You think?
Probably. Yeah, because it has been said that Brock is like a hard guy to, I guess, just to not even really talk to, but like to gain his respect.
Yeah, and some people really don't like Dean Ambrose in the backstage area.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's definitely a factor.
See, that's the thing,
But-
right? Is we can't really grandstand too much because we don't know the behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
this match should have been better. That I do know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
I'm of like the Undertaker mentality of like, who cares whether you like him or not? Just go out there and do business.
Yeah.
Put on the best fucking match you can.
Look at Seth Rollins. He fucking hated CM Punk when he came back. He was angry, and he still did business with him because
Yeah, he was willing to main event WrestleMania with him.
it's just
Fuck it. Look at them. Look at CM Punk and Drew McIntyre now. They don't
It's-
like each other.
yeah, that's real. But they do it because it's what's best for the business. And Brock Lesnar, unfortunately, just didn't apply that mentality here. You know,
Yeah.
Undertaker's such a goat. He gets brought up in every conversation. I swear to God.
It all goes back to Undertaker.
Damn straight. Well, bro was the locker room leader for a while.
The former WWE champion would go on to call Lesnar lazy, which was a bold yet seemingly justified comment.
Wow.
It's clear that Ambrose strongly disliked
Chainsaw? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? That is
Yeah, so
crazy.
The storyline leading up to this match was like when it was announced it was going to be a street fight. So all these different like hardcore legends started meeting up with Dean Ambrose and giving him different kinds of weapons to use in the match. I forget which legend gave Dean Ambrose the chainsaw, but Dean pulled it out and like that shit was immediately shut down. Like Brock kicked him right there, and then I think that was it for the chainsaw in the match.
Which is crazy because, like, come on.
Was it Terry Funk that gave him the chainsaw?
That would be a Terry Funk thing to give. Holy shit. Yo, Terry Funk is a bad motherfucker. ECW One Night Stand, 2006. Dude is old as hell and he's bleeding all over the place, still getting his ass destroyed by Edge. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It was Terry Funk. Terry Funk gave Dean Ambrose a chainsaw during a segment on Raw, March 21st, 2016.
What a bad motherfucker. Man, you got to love Terry Funk. Jesus Christ.
likes the match, and it's a massive shame as it had so much potential to be a WrestleMania classic. Number 5, Mick Foley at WrestleMania 20.
Really?
One
Oh.
of the top
WrestleMania
matches on the
20, which one was this one? Oh, against Evolution.
WrestleMania 20 card saw Mick Foley team with The Rock to take on Evolution. Whilst the match received good reviews from fans, Foley wasn't happy with the match quality, and he felt he let the fans down by his performance. Foley would discuss his thoughts on the match on his podcast, and this is what the Hall of Famer had to say.
And I go from being this guy who had been the three-time WWE champion, and I just become somebody who, in my mind, doesn't belong out there. And it is what it is.
It is what it is, motherfuckers.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's just like me for real.
No, that's real.
You guys say it was very good. I'll trust you to say it was very good, but I can't bring myself to watch that match.
It's such a common trend amongst the best of the business. They're so hard on themselves. It's ridiculous.
I don't think I've ever seen more than 90 seconds of it at a time.
I mean, us as creators, we're hard on ourselves as well, And
Yeah,
so
for
we
sure.
have to know how to stoke that fire, but it's always there. Those like, oh, you could do better. Oh, you could do more. Fucking, it's
Yeah,
always
I mean,
there.
Like, if I'm being honest, I have videos on my channel that I like,
Yeah.
but I don't like 80% of them. like
I
a
hear
large,
ya.
like a large majority of them, I don't really like, and I don't really go back and watch. But there's a couple where it's like I genuinely like that video, like not just the process of making it and everything, but like going back and watching it. There's just a few videos like that where I can go back and watch it and be like, this is fucking great. But a lot of them I go back and I see the problems.
There's no problem with taking pride in your work, but there's also a thing where your ego gets in the way of you enjoying your work, you know? And that's, it's the human condition. It applies to all crafts. You apply enough time into something, you will regret some of the work you've done. It is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
That's life.
I mean, look at David F. Sandberg. Depression is inevitable.
Oh, man. I'm really bummed that reaction to like that video where he was talking about his directing and what he does. It only got like a few views, dude. That is such a great video.
It's
man,
peak, bro.
I'm telling you, in a few years when we do get bigger, we're definitely gonna watch that video again, and we're gonna plug the shit out of David Sandberg. I love that guy.
Yeah, I'm excited for his Until Dawn movie.
Can't wait, baby.
Yeah.
Number 4, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. Brock was so unhappy with his WrestleMania 34 match with Roman Reigns that he threw his Universal title at Vince McMahon backstage. Whilst Lesnar's actions may...
Yeah, I always love that moment. He just fucking throws that shit in the face.
Asshole.
Asshole, yeah.
Team Drastic, he had justification to be annoyed, as the main event match was truly atrocious. The crowd had no interest in seeing a babyface Reigns versus a villainous Lesnar, and they heavily turned on the match. The fans would chant, "You both suck," and they would randomly chant for other wrestlers.
Damn, that throw is crazy.
The fans would chant, "You both suck," and they would randomly chant for other wrestlers. Even when Lesnar and Reigns incorporated blood into the match, it was met with disdain from the audience, and nothing the duo could do was going to influence the crowd's response. Number 3, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Yeah, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, their best match is easily WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, they never
And
got
that was
better.
their first one. Yeah, they never got better.
Well-
a good second one is the last match they had.
Yeah,
last
at
Man
SummerSlam,
Standing.
was it?
SummerSlam, yeah. That was a good second, but it still, for me, it still doesn't touch WrestleMania 31.
Well, because of the spectacle of it, all the finishers, whatnot. But then that sets a bad precedent for for pay-per-views afterwards, Because how many finishers can you take? That kind of thing.
Yeah. And then, even the match where Roman became a double champion at WrestleMania 38, that match to me is just mid.
I hear you, dog.
Yeah. But the last man standing one, that's a good match. I mean, Lesnar fucking flipped the ring with a tractor.
Yeah. You gotta love it.
That's a good ass match. It's so fun to watch. Paul Heyman got F5 through the announce table.
Fuck yeah. Paul Heyman puts his body on the fucking line, bro. He gets fucking that electric chair powerbomb, whatever the fuck, by the bloodline through the table. He gets his ass F5. He's pushing 60 and Holmes is still getting bumps. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Do was going to
insane.
influence the crowd's response. Number 3, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23.
Ooh.
Shawn Michaels' main event match with John Cena.
Really? He doesn't like that one?
I've never seen their rematch.
Dude,
The one on Raw.
Dude, I remember seeing it. It's been a long time, but I remember seeing it thinking, this is on fucking Raw.
Yeah.
It was
60 minutes.
They ran it the fuck back.
Yeah.
We'll see what this is, but I can't imagine being angry about this match or disliking it. Really?
At WrestleMania 23 is
Well, maybe because he felt like he was upstaged by Taker versus Batista, and I mean, yeah.
To be fair, Taker versus Batista should have been the main event.
Yeah, bro, I hear you. Yeah, I remember listening to the podcast, like hearing it back, and you mentioned that. It's just, it's how it is, bro. And I hear you, but I don't think anyone expected that level from those two. That's the thing, right? Like, we expected Undertaker, but we didn't expect that level from Batista until it happened. And it was like, oh, fuck.
And the thing is, it's so tough because John Cena and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker versus Batista are two, main event level fucking matches.
Yeah, easy.
The fucking, you have 4 of some of the greatest of all time. Where do you who do you put where?
Well,
Right?
at that time, Batista was a bigger star than John Cena was a bigger star than Batista. You know what I mean?
sure,
and at that point, they were thinking, okay, what's a more marketable main event? But not only that, is we know John Cena's more tried as a long-term performer in matches, while Batista, we hadn't really seen that side of him as prominent until we saw it in WrestleMania 23. When we saw that, it's like, oh, okay, Batista can fucking go. So it's hindsight is 2020, but in the moment, I see why John Cena and Shawn Michaels headline. I see, you know. And I really liked his entrance too. He came in that really fucking fast muscle car. He broke some glass. Like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah, that's cool as entrance.
Anyway, let's see why Shawn Michaels doesn't like this match. We yap too much. My bad, y'all.
Is an all-time classic, but Mr. WrestleMania himself, HBK, was furious with how the match went. Following the match, HBK walked away without shaking the hand of Cena, and this was an off-script outburst from HBK,
Really?
who just couldn't bear to shake Cena's hand. HBK's anger came from the fact that Cena had forgot to sell his leg throughout the match, and for HBK, that was the main storytelling element of the main event match. According
What, his fucked up leg?
to Dave Meltzer, when HBK got backstage, he began to scream about how terrible he thought the match was, and this opinion was believed to be shared by fellow WWE officials. Number 2,
Wow.
Well, I suppose he hyper-focused on it. It is what it is. It's like, I wanted to sell this one thing, and it would have been better in that regard. And, you know, Shawn Michaels, one of the best in the business. He's a perfectionist. It is what it is, you know? And
I think it definitely is a thing of just holding himself to too high of a standard, because they clearly worked, you know, multiple times after that match and had great bangers too. So
I mean, they had one right after, literally the day after.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know? And so, you know, I hear you. Shawn Michaels can look back and say, well, I didn't really like this part. But at the end of the day, bro, Shawn Michaels still put on such a banger performance with John Cena. You know, John Cena stepped up, and he really did, and he did well, you know? So, at the end of the day, you know, these wrestlers are just way too fucking hard on themselves. And that's fine. You have to be. To be that good, you have to have a massive ego, and you have to be a perfectionist. It is what it is. You know? So, you gotta love that mentality from Shawn. I mean, 20 years of being consistent. You have to be that level. It is what it is.
And this opinion was believed to be shared by fellow WWE officials. Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14.
I don't know this one.
WrestleMania 14 saw the ascension of Stone
Another Shawn. Interesting.
Cold Steve Austin to the top of WWE. Austin's match with Shawn Michaels saw Austin pin HBK to win his first WWE title.
I think I can maybe guess why.
Why?
Because this is right before Shawn Michaels had to leave to get back surgery.
Yeah, dude. No,
Because
I can see. I've seen this clip that they're just about to show on like those fucking. Please don't try this at home. This clip is literally about to happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he had 2 herniated discs and 1 crushed, and from what I remember at this point, he could like barely walk. Maybe that's why Steve Austin didn't like it, but like to the audience, you can't really tell. I mean, Shawn Michaels is still super fucking athletic. These guys are strong as hell, so
maybe he didn't like. Maybe he knew about the injury and didn't like that. Like Shawn was wrestling in general.
maybe
we'll see.
Something like that.
Austin has gone on record to state that he hasn't personally been a fan of the matchup. Speaking on the Up Up Down Down's 2K23 livestream, the WWE Hall of Famer revealed, so to go out there and have a lackluster match with him, and in the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania, that was a sold-out show and it's a small building compared to nowadays, that was a big deal. When Mike Tyson came in, me and Mike hit it off, and he was over. He brought a lot to it, so it was cool being out there with Mike. Me and Shawn could have had a way better match, but he was in a bad place. He was injured, I was just red hot. When I got the stunner on him, Mike quick counted me. He didn't give me that slow championship pace. But to answer your question, I hated that match. I love Shawn, I have the utmost respect for him, but I don't consider that to be a good match at all. And
yeah, you know, I hear you, Stone. And yeah, I mean, Shawn was injured. You know, a lot of mitigating factors. I see what he means, but once again, it's just that they're way too fucking hard on themselves, and they have to be. You know,
for sure.
We've said that so much during this video. It's just how it is. You know?
That's the lesson of the day, guys.
Damn straight.
Number 1, The Undertaker at WrestleMania 34.
Cabroncito. Fuck.
I've heard him talk about this match so much. It's so funny to me.
He's just so fucking angry. It's like a squash match? He was told on the day that it was going to be a squash match. And he walked up to John and is like, John, is this really? He's like, yeah, no, you're The Undertaker. You need to beat me in this amount of time. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, John Cena was like, do you know how much shit talking I've been doing in the build up to this? Like, you have to kick my ass in 5 minutes.
And the Undertaker's like, man, I've been practicing for like a 60-minute match. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is the most practice I've ever done for a match. Like, you know, and you know, to just fucking have a 5-minute match. I see why he's pissed. It's like, oh, that worked for what?
Yeah.
WrestleMania dream match between The Undertaker and John Cena finally took place
That
at
is a dream
WrestleMania
match,
34.
Yeah.
And going into the match, fans fully
Yeah, like I wish it happened a lot sooner. They did have a match at a pay-per-view like way back when. But that was
it
long.
like No Way Out? Like
Yeah, like
05 or something?
one of those random pay-per-views way back when. But that's old now.
Expected
Really wish we had Prime Cena versus I wish we had a Cena and Undertaker match and oh wait, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. Like, I think it would have been interesting if around the time when we got who was before Shawn Michaels versus Taker?
Oh man, I don't remember. Let me see.
Was it Batista?
I think it was Batista because because it was Batista, something else, and then it was Shawn Michaels for 25.
Oh, Edge. It was Edge.
Yes.
Okay. If only we could have gotten something with Cena in that time frame of his WrestleMania streak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even instead of CM Punk at 29, if they would have done Cena versus Taker.
Well, they didn't even have to do it. The thing is, right, is they didn't even have to do it at a fucking WrestleMania. It could have just been a fucking match between these two. They never fought each other. Fuck.
Yeah.
Give me a SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, guys. Yeah.
You
SummerSlam.
It is what it is. What can you do? Because we all know who's gonna win, right? So just put it at SummerSlam. Because then now it's okay. Now it's you don't know.
Yeah.
the match between the two legends.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, into the match, fans fully expected a lengthy match between the two legends. Unfortunately, what the fans got was a squash match that was under 3 minutes in length. To say that this was disappointing would be an understatement.
Damn straight.
And the dead man was incredibly disappointed. Taker trained for a 45-minute war with Cena, and he was stunned to find out that Vince McMahon wanted to book a squash match.
Once again, just another instance of Vince not doing what's best for business.
Yeah.
Jesus
Come on,
Christ.
Vince. Step up.
What are you doing, dude? Yeah, it doesn't have to be a 45-minute war, but let's do a 20-minute back and forth, you know?
Taker would discuss...
I've never seen WrestleMania 34, but the match that I really want to watch is the opening match. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck. Who was the third guy? It was a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Oh, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz.
I like that. That does sound...
I've heard that match is a banger. It's really fucking good, especially for a WrestleMania opener. I gotta go back and watch it.
That sounds...
I've never seen 34, but that's the match that I want to see, and I do want to see Cena versus Taker.
That does sound...
Even though it's 5 minutes.
That does sound delectable, not gonna lie. Yeah, I saw that Cena versus Taker match. It's fine, it's just a little squash match, but that's my thing, right? Is it could have been more. What can you do?
Does this during an interview with Chris Van Vliet, saying, "Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be short till I got there that day. So I've trained for a 45-minute war, and all right, here's redemption. I'm going to light this place on fire." Felt good.
I love his voice acting. Watch out, man.
Yeah.
Watch out.
And Vince calls me into his office and he goes, "Okay." He says it's just going to be about 5 minutes, you're going to squash him. I'm like, what? What? And Vince, he just thought that was the funniest thing because he knew how hard I'd been training.
That's a dick move.
That's a dick. Yeah, exactly. That is a dick move. And John Cena, he's always he's the company guy. It's you tell him what to do, he'll do it. But that's my thing, bro. It's it really... I wish it was a thing with him and Triple H where it's yeah, fuck that. We're going to go over.
Yeah. What's crazy is WrestleMania 34, Undertaker versus Cena, that could have easily main evented.
Yeah. Easy. Are you kidding me? Fuck yeah.
Instead of Roman versus Brock Lesnar for the 85th time.
It is what it is, man. What can you do?
Yeah.
Spilt milk. Spilt milk.
Yeah. I want to go to the alternate universe where they had a 45-minute match.
Yeah, that's real. Let me see that timeline. That's real. That was WrestleMania. Top 10. Fucking what was that video called? I don't even remember the fucking name. 10 WWE wrestlers who hated their own WrestleMania match. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, WrestleMania really is just a really solid channel. They're smooth, they're professional, but they also give off that nerdy geek vibe that, us true fans really do appreciate. Gotta love it. So yeah.
Also, apologies to anyone that was expecting a straightforward reaction, but you did see the runtime, so
yeah. You clicked on this video. That's on you. This is a whole lab podcast right here, man. Gotta love it. Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, we say this in the beginning of the videos. You guys, if you want to see the video, you need to check the description because you cannot watch this video reasonably through us. You just can't, you know?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
We talk too fucking much. We're not Blasphemous HD. We're not Jinx. We're not these other fucking YouTubers who react to a video that's 4 minutes long and our video is 5.5 minutes long. No. A 4 minute long video, we stretch to 15. You know?
All those other reaction YouTubers that you've seen out there, we are worse than all of them.
Dab. That's the truth. And if you don't like that, we got 2 words for you. Please subscribe.
Suck it. Oh.